Mike Freer, the Member of Parliament for Finchley and Golders Green, has quit. He's quit because of threats from the Islamic extremists and fears for his safety. Mike Freer is also the UK Justice Minister. Now, if the UK Justice Minister has been intimidated by the Islamic extremists, then no one in the UK is safe. Seriously, if they can get away with intimidating the Justice Minister, it means they can intimidate anybody. The MP for Finchley and Golders Green was first targeted in 2011, a year after the East London Labour MP Stephen Timms was stabbed. A group that called itself Muslims Against Crusades told him, "Let Stephen Timms be a warning to you." Muslims Against Crusades even gatecrashed an event that Freer was attending at the North Finchley Mosque. So there he was, trying to do his constituency duties, and he was attacked by a mob who wanted to advance their cause by violence and intimidation. In other words, terrorists. Freer was also targeted by Ali Harbi Ali, the British-born man of Somalian origin who was radicalised in Syria and ended up killing the British MP Sir David Amess. Luckily, Freer managed to narrowly escape the Somalian, but the threats against him continued. Mike Freer, in fact, has been the target of a constant string of physical threats, including death threats. In the latest incident, even his constituency office was the target of an arson attack. And for those of you who don't live in London, let me tell you that Finchley and Golders Green has been one of the safest neighbourhoods in London, with an affluent population that lives there. This is all a culmination of years of appeasement policies towards the Islamic extremists by the establishment. By the establishment turning a blind eye towards these extremist groups when they exploit freedom of religion and worship in this country. By the establishment allowing them to entrench and to spread their networks in the UK. By the establishment going after the wrong people, like going after Tommy Robinson, instead of those who pose a real threat to the UK. In the past, I've exposed many of these groups and networks operating with total impunity in the UK. Networks, groups and institutions, charities set up by hostile states serving the enemies of the UK. You can read some of these articles I've written before by clicking on the links I've put in the description under this video. And people have often asked me, they've said like, okay, so you've exposed these groups, your articles have been published, so why don't the UK authorities act? Why don't they close down these organisations, these groups, these charities? And I've said because no one wants to be the one to push the button and face the consequences, to face threats and intimidation. And now the very establishment that has allowed these groups to grow, to expand, to become better financed, is itself becoming the victims of their own appeasement policies. It's like a pre-written script that keeps repeating itself. Will Freer's resignation wake up the establishment, or will it make them even more scared? Who knows? We can't tell. Let's see what happens. We can't tell what they will do. But what we can do is to stop remaining a silent majority.